Alright, well if you're watching this video, chances are something went terribly wrong when you were working on your car. We're here to tell you that you can rest assured you've come to the right place. We're here to help. Alright, so in today's video we're going to show you how to get a broken stud out of your engine without using any easy outs or gimmick tools or anything like that. All you're going to need is a MIG welder and a little confidence. Alright, so before we get into showing you how to get this thing out with the welder, we'll just make a note about how easy outs and stud extractors are not the way to get these out. Basically, when a stud snaps when you're working on it, that's clear evidence that this thing's really jammed in there. Alright, maybe it was over torqued on its way in, or so full of rust and contaminants that you snapped the bolt trying to extract it. Now, think of how hard you were wrenching on this thing before it snapped. Do you really think a chintzy tool is going to help you get this thing out? Common sense would tell you no. Now, while this may seem intimidating, we're here to show you that your average at-home MIG welder or automotive MIG is the only tool you're going to need to get this sucker out, okay? First thing to do is to make sure you have a nut handy that's sized accordingly to receive the would-be end of your bolt or stud. Take that nut to your bench and clean it up of any rust and contaminants like you would if you're welding anything else. Another trick to employ here is to drill out the threads of this nut. This is going to ensure that you get a clean inner contact on your weld. The machine is going to encounter way too many chances for contamination if you leave the threads intact. Ultimately, this leads to porosity and a weak weld. You do not want that. Next, what you're going to want to do is set your machine to run hot with a slower wire feed than you think. You really want to get a nice hot puddle going here when you start your weld. Once you get in there, things are going to start going fast, so pay attention. Angle yourself up, get a nice clean ground, and then start hitting the broken stud with weld. The extra heat is going to puddle up on the end of the stud nicely, and you're going to build up just enough weld that it starts to expose itself beyond the surface of your hole. Now, take your prepared nut, tack it to the weld, and build enough weld into the end of the nut that you're effectively constructing an entirely new bolt out of your two pieces. Now, once you're welded, you're going to give your new Frankenbolt a moment to cool down. Grab yourself a wrench, slowly work the bolt back and forth to ensure the procedure has worked, and back that sucker out like it was never a big deal in the first place. Being as that this is your first time doing this, it's probably going to take a few tries to get this right. But don't worry, practice makes perfect here. You can do this 100 times, and the amount of heat that you're employing each time is really only going to help with the extraction process, okay? Heat is your friend in this situation. And once you get it out, you're going to be happy that you learned. You can take all these broken studs and throw them right in the garbage with the rest of those shitty tools you never should have bought in the first place. Okay? Good luck. We hope this helps.